All right, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of SpinZone Picks. Host here, Dougie Buckets, and my co-host, Cheno. How you doing,
Dougie, how we doing, buddy? I'm doing
good.
great. It's a beautiful day here in Maryland, and excited to talk about some Pebble Beach.
We are not late. We are not late for this tournament.
Not
I'm
late.
Pumped. We are on time. If anything, we are early.
Yeah, we're early. That was a tough showing by us last week. Not only did were we late to the tournament, but then when we looked at the leaderboard, we didn't even sniff the winner, and we already saw what was happening.
No. Harris English was not a guy that I would ever expect to win anything. So
Yeah.
that's how good we are.
What's been going on with you? Anything good down in Florida?
Working on my vision plan for Tip Your Caddy. That's it. I mean, we are actually going to turn this thing into a business. This is going to be included in all of it. We're going balls to the wall to kind of get this thing up and running. But other than that, I've just been golfing a shit ton.
Nice. You get a couple rounds in since I last talked to you?
I'm fucking horrible. I'm
Yeah?
so bad, Chan. My last 2 rounds, 86, 89.
What's just because the swing changes getting in your mind?
Dude, I'm standing over the ball and I'm thinking a million things. You know me. We've played many rounds of golf. How little do I think about a golf shot? I'm like, I'm gonna hit it right to left, cut, bang. It takes 0.5 seconds for me. Now I'm like standing over it. I'm like, okay, is this right? Am I gonna take? It's the dumbest thing ever.
Right. No, I think the more I think about it, the worse I do. Obviously the weather's not allowing us to play golf right now, but they just opened up an X Golf in like right across the street from my house, and we went there with like a couple people for a birthday. And I hadn't played in months, and I played some of my best golf because I didn't have any swing thoughts. To just start ripping the ball. It was great.
That's awesome. I love that.
So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about last week. We didn't have too many picks, but this week we're loading up on picks, and I have a couple of ideas for us. We'll get to that. But talking about last week at the Farmers Insurance, it was. I don't know if you caught any of it, but it was blustery. They had to suspend the round one day because of wind and balls were rolling. I mean, I was actually enjoying watching a little bit of it because there was some carnage out there. So Harris English was your winner, but any thoughts on that?
Okay, this I can't confirm or deny, but I saw a headline. I was about to say I read an article. I read a headline that said Harris English is the first guy to go from Live back to PGA and win a tournament. Is that true?
No, you got duped.
I got duped?
You got duped.
I really hate the internet. I get duped so often on the internet.
You got duped. No, Harris English has always been on the PGA Tour. He did get injured, and he hasn't won in, I think, like 2 or 3 years. But he's a low-key flusher of the golf ball. He's a flusher's flusher, and when he gets the putter rolling, he's tough to beat. But making his comeback, he had an amazing back nine when wind was blowing. Everybody's out there making bogeys, and he just steps up and rolls in a bunch of 4 or 5 footers to make pars. It's all he needed to win. It was pretty special to watch.
Yeah, a bunch of no names at that tournament, but I like how you said you actually like to watch it because I'm a big fan when the weather comes into play too. It really evens the playing field for everybody. Like if you got Scotty, like say you got bad weather, and then you have Scotty at the top. If weather comes in, it's anyone's game.
It's anyone's game.
You know what I mean? That's what I love about golf. You're outside in the elements, and I don't care if it's 30 miles an hour wind in your face. You got to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's tough to separate yourself when the wind's blowing, right? Because you can make a big number at any point. So yeah, it was pretty good. Let's go down the leaderboard a little bit. Let's see who else finished. We got Harris English at the top. Joel Damon, great week, T9. Sam Stevens, he's a former Joe Mayo protege. He lit it up, 4 under, best round of the day for a solo second. Then you got a couple people, maybe no name. Sung JM, your guy, someone that you bet on when he misses the cut, and you don't bet on him when he finishes in the top 5. He was at T4, and that's really it for the big names. I'm trying to see. Gryffindor, Lonto Griffin, that was your pick of the week. Yeah, he's at T9, but a little 75 on a Sunday isn't the best. And
you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that.
And that's really it. The leaderboard was rather bleak, and that's going to change this week. We're getting a bunch of top 20 players. So yeah, that wraps up Torrey week. I mean, here's my big thing. What sucks about Torrey Pines, or what sucks this year about Torrey Pines, is I don't know if you saw, but The Genesis is always at my favorite course and one of my favorite courses of the year. Got canceled because of the fires in LA. So they're going back to Torrey Pines for the Genesis Tigers tournament. And I think Tiger's actually going to tee it up, which will be interesting to watch.
That's just, I mean, to be honest, for me, not interesting to watch at all, but I'm tired of seeing Tiger. I've said that, but I'd also was kind of like, nice, Max Homa doesn't have the advantage anymore. Not that I'm an anti-Max Homa guy, but he does nasty at the Genesis every year. And
So it'll be interesting to see what happens like when all the players show up for the Tiger tournament. But this week was a little taste, or I guess last week was a little taste, and we'll see it again in 2 or 3 weeks.
Just a little teaser.
Just a little teaser. All right, so that was hole 1 of our hole by hole roundup. Hole 2, we're doing a little buying or selling, and so yeah, let's turn to you. What give me somebody who you're buying or selling.
Okay, one guy I obviously can't get a read on in the market, and you said it perfectly. Sungjae Im. This guy is like Tesla stock. 1 week it's up, 1 week it's down, and I can't see where to place the money. If I'm in the stock market, I've lost everything on Sungjae Im.
Yes,
I can't predict it. I can't predict it.
He's an unstable compound. You just never know when he's going to explode. One thing about Sungjae, and you love Sungjae, I swear we talk about him all too much, and he's not even that good. Is that he's so good. He's like Cal Ripken. Like he plays every fucking week. Cal Ripken played every day, but he just never won anything. Cal Ripken never really won anything.
If you look at the stats, and I'm not a stats guy, but I looked at the stats for Sungjae. He's always 1 round away. Like he's like 68, 64, and then all of a sudden he's got like a 73 in there, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I think that's a good one. Yeah, somebody somebody who was at the top of the leaderboard last time we talked was Ludwig, and if I'm going to buy any stock in the PGA Tour, I'm going to buy a Ludwig stock. This man drives it on a string. He is. He got the norovirus last week. It was going around the PGA Tour, and he was like curled over in a ball, and he was still out there in blustery conditions shooting 68. So if there's anybody's stock that I'm buying Ludwig Aberg stock.
That's great. Okay, did not see. That's some good insider trading information because I didn't know he was sick. And so when I saw that, I was about to say stock down on Ludwig because I was like, guy just like starts hot and then goes away. Like where'd he go? Sickness, insider trading. We're pushing all the money in, pushing all the chips in.
Yeah, and a bunch of people got it. Like a bunch of the WDs were from that illness. It must have just hit the locker room all at one time. A
guy that now I want to talk about is Victor Hovland. I'm stock down. Yeah, I'm stock down on Victor.
Me too. Did you hear those quotes? He said something like, "Yeah, I just don't have it." I mean, like you don't want to hear that from your guy. He basically, it sounded like something you and I would say when you're like, "Yeah, I'm trying this. I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching Instagram." It's like, all right, man, like you're a professional golfer. You should probably just like have a coach and maybe like diagnose the problem.
It's like when Colin Morikawa lost its fade. It's like, okay, we're pulling out of this guy. Like this guy only hits fades his entire life, and now he's pulling the ball. What? No, see you later. But no, I can't have Victor Hovland out there with a fractured pinky being like, I don't got it. All right? Yeah. Play through injury.
Someone's stock I'm buying, another buy. I'm just buying everything up today. Is Keegan Bradley. He's somebody who, if he's going to be the captain of this Ryder Cup team, but he's playing good enough golf to qualify for the Ryder Cup team, and I think he's got this chip on his shoulder to say, I'm gonna. Because he didn't get picked in the last Ryder Cup, if you remember, he was left off the team for Justin Thomas, and they got absolutely smoked in Europe. Now they're going back to Bethpage Black, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder to try and qualify on merit, and because I think
that's the thing that he could actually qualify to play and be a captain.
Yeah, right, playing captain. Tiger did it at the President's Cup a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So I'm buying him. I think he's playing some amazing golf. I love his caddy, Scotty Vale. He's a great dude. They do great work together. Anybody else?
The last guy you brought him up is Joel Damon. I think I'm buying stock in Joel Damon. I am. I don't believe in this guy most of the time, but he's been proven he can play some good golf. And I think Pebble's going to suit him well. He's done decent there before, I believe, and I don't know. I'm in on the Damon trade. Not like for a win, but like at least a top 20. I can see it.
No, I think he's somebody who can go out and shoot a 61, but putting 4 days together, it's tough. I mean, He barely made it back to the PGA Tour this past year. He qualified at at Q School or whatever the qualifying metrics were, and he's been playing pretty well. And then I'm going to do one sell, and this is going to be a name from the bottom of the pack. Is a kid by the name of Nick Dunlop. He won 2 times last year. He came fresh out of college out of Alabama. He's a good golfer, but I think everybody's a little too high on him. Excuse me. Everyone's a little too high on him. I think he's going to struggle with transition to the PGA Tour. He's talking about being lonely, and he's kind of pulling all the stops out there. He's just a kid. He should still be in college. He should still be out there whooping it up with his boys, and I think the PGA Tour is going to catch up to him. So I'm selling Nick Dunlap stock.
I'm just saying. I'm that young. I'm playing on the PGA Tour. I'm just I've won twice, so that's got to be at least $6 million, something like that, at least.
Sure. Yeah.
Sponsorships. I'm just flying my boys out every weekend and just hanging out. You're lonely? Fly the boys out. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all he needs. He needs to get the fellas to going. Maybe one Wednesday night, go out, get after it hard. No more loneliness. Now you're good.
Yep. All right, we have a new segment. We're gonna make this is hole number 3. We're gonna make this a regular. Okay, it's gonna be called the Todd of the Week. And if you know anything about us, we love Brendan Todd for reasons unknown. But he's a Todd. He walks like a Todd. He talks like a Todd.
Got to be a Todd.
He's a Todd. So give me a couple of your Todds of the week.
Okay, last week and possibly going into this week, depending on the outfits, is Jason Day. Guy was just out there doing his thing. He played pretty decent as well, but he's just rocking whatever he wants. Malbon comes out and says, yeah, we didn't script the guy. He just kind of wore that on his own, which is a huge Todd move. Todds do whatever they want. He's walking like a Todd, talking like a Todd, dressing like a Todd. Jason Day, candidate for Todd of the Week.
Love that. All right. I went a different direction. I went us. We're the Todd of the Week because we just todded our way through last week. We had no picks. We were late. It was Wednesday. The tournament's already started, and we were walking like Todd at the bottom of the leaderboard. We were talking like a bunch of Todds that knew what we were doing, and we were the Todd of the Week.
I like that. I got one that you're not going to like because I think he's your favorite player of all time, but I just think this is a perfect atmosphere for him to be a Todd. Jordan Spieth. I think this week we could see full Todd, Jordan Spieth, going out there, doing his silly little practice routine before everything, talking to his caddy nonstop, really just being in Jordan's world, but he doesn't even know it. He's in Todd's world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He is. This is a famous tournament for him. I don't know if you remember that shot that he hit off the cliff.
Yep.
He was not a Todd that week. He was a Chad. He was really getting after it that week. But no, he plays well around here. He does. If he's get a swaggy walk to him and he starts playing with some confidence, he's coming off an injury. I expect him to start a little slow this year, but this is his favorite course. I think he's a top. And there's 2 players that play this course extremely well every single year in, year out. It's Jordan Spieth, it's Jason Day. They have. If you look at the stats, they are the players at Pebble Beach. So yeah, I could see him as well. And then our final Todd of the week. Who's our final Todd of the week? I'm gonna give it to Harris English. You know why?
Ooh.
He's coming off a win. He just had a kid. He's got the perspective bump, and he won last week with no emotion on his face. He was just walking around like a Todd, and I think he shows up this week. He's got bigger problems at home. He's got babies crying, and I think he backs it up with another good week.
Yeah, that baby bump is real. I've seen it even when I'm caddying. One of my go-to players where I work now had a kid, and then the next 3-4 rounds we were low 70s. It was awesome.
Love it. All right. Any? Do we have a winner? Do you want to pick a winner? Who's the Todd of the week?
I don't know. Maybe what we could do is I could cut that part and put it online and maybe have people vote.
Okay, I like that.
So and if we don't get enough voters, what we'll do is we'll pick the Todds. But I think that what we're gonna do now is we take this. This is up to you. Todd of the week, the viewers, let us know who you think Todd of the week is.
Love that. And I think just to back that up, I'm gonna get the SpinZone Picks Twitter. I was thinking about it in the car this morning. I'm gonna get the SpinZone Picks Twitter back up and running. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start tracking our picks. This is the first week where we have where we start to get a lot of good players. We got Pebble this week. We got Phoenix Open next week. We're gonna start getting into the Florida swing. and we'll start actually tracking some picks. That was the silly season that we just finished up. We're getting into some real golf. So
this is for realsies.
Now we're making money
realsies.
for the listeners. Now we're making money for the listeners. So I'm gonna get the SpinZone picks Twitter back up and running, and we're going to start tracking some picks, and we'll get some voters on there too. All right, hole number 4. I just want to talk a little bit about YouTube golf. And how it's changing the industry. I watched an awesome video this morning of Phil Mickelson and Grant Horvat playing Dustin Johnson and Austin Johnson, and it got incredible feedback, and it made me think how that's how you get people invested in the game, right? I mean,
100%.
And I think something that you're doing and something that others are doing is actually going out there and just putting themselves out on the internet and getting followers that way. And it's tough because I think there's a little bit of people who are like, oh, that's stupid, or some people are like, oh, this is great. But you see, even Wesley Bryan last week, he was top 5 going into the back 9, and he's somebody who comes out and says very candidly that he prefers YouTube golf over PGA Tour golf because it's a little more lighthearted. He's making great money. So, what do you think about that?
So, I just want to touch back on the Rick Shields thing. I think that is genius by Liv.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to get a wider way, instead of just TV, they got the entire internet to focus on Liv. And I think because of this, that Liv, and what they should do if they're smart, is each individual team should pick a content creator for them to rep. Like Grant Horvath is now a member of Smash GC, or like Bob Does Sports is now a Range Goat. You know what I mean? And every week they can kind of rotate in and out who comes to the tournaments, does different sorts of content. So now they just have content galore everywhere they go. And then, I don't know, every video that Bob or Grant puts out, Liv gets representation.
Yep. No, I like that. I think you're gonna see. I think TGL is an attempt at trying to get more viewers. You see Liv getting Rick Shields as their ambassador on YouTube. You see all the different teams on Liv. High Flyers have a channel. 4 Aces have a channel. You're starting to see a bunch of PGA Tour guys start their own channels because they see the value in it. And I don't know if you saw this, but Justin Thomas sent out like a memo to the PGA Tour membership and was like, guys, we gotta be better about putting ourselves out there. I know nobody wants to be bothered, but at the end of the day, this isn't about, if you can't do a walk-up or a walk-in talk with CBS, then you probably shouldn't be out here anyway, right? Like
exactly.
Get your shit together.
It's like every sport. Like MLB, I think, does the worst at it when it comes to showcasing their players.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like Mike Trout is a generational player. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. It's really, really weird. That guy should be a megastar on everything.
Yep.
Like, even hockey has picked up on this, where they hired Biz Nasty and they're trying to do like a round table like the NBA does, and it's working. Like people are tuning in to listen to these personalities, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, what's hockey? Let's go check this out."
100%.
But I think TGL has a huge opportunity to be the first guys to bring in, and I believe you mentioned this before, but bring in Liv guys.
Yeah.
Like, what do you have to lose? Bring in Liv versus PGA. Now you got Liv versus PGA at TGL. That does numbers like the Super Bowl, just like you said. I think that is genius.
100%. 100%. No, I think you're right. And I think even myself, right? A lot of people are working from home now. They can throw YouTube up on a computer. They can, while they're getting their busy work done, they can go in, they can watch. And, it's not just Thursday through Sunday because that's when everyone's busy. It's all day, every day putting out content. And I think it's going to be, you see all these videos getting millions and millions of views. I think it's going to become more and more mainstream.
And the thing is, we're here. Like, this is why I'm excited about Tip Your Caddy and all the media that we're putting out. Is like we're at the bottom. Like, we haven't really hit the peak of, and it seemed like it is because these guys already do such great numbers. But you only got so many top guys right now that aren't PGA Tour pros. There's room for more.
Right.
You don't have to be a high-level guy to be making money and doing this thing and like have representation with PGA or Liv. You just have to be entertaining, fun. You don't have to be the best golfer. Like, I don't know. I'm very excited for the future of what we're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, we know you're definitely not the best golfer after that 86, 89 showing, so that makes complete sense. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little Pro-Am. So Pebble Beach, the Pebble Beach is actually a Pebble Beach Pro-Am. It's like one of the big draws to this tournament is the fact that you get to see Bill Murray playing, you get to see Aaron Rodgers playing, now you get to see Josh Allen playing because he's not going to the Super Bowl. You get to see all these different people show up, and you get to interact with them. There's not many times you get to see pro athletes up close and personal because a lot of times they're spraying it outside the ropes, and you can actually go there and you can see them play their golf with their team. So it's kind of controversial. They've made it so that the AMs stop playing, like their final day is on Saturday, so that way on Sunday it's just the pros finishing out so they can focus on winning.
I don't like that.
Me neither. So it's Thursday to Saturday. It's a 3-day AM event, but they play with a bunch of pros, and it's a great. I think it's a great idea. But I guess coming back to you've been caddying for a long time now, ever since I've known you. Do you have any good Pro-Am stories for us?
I've been in 2 Pro-Ams. I got 2 great stories from. The first one was I did the Pro-Am at Arnold Palmer's course, Bay Hill. Mm-hmm. That was cool. We got paired up with Zach Johnson. This was like right before he got named the Ryder Cup captain, so everyone was like really high on it. Unlike now where people are calling him out for like losing them the tournament.
Right.
But he was actually surprised. Like when I heard we had Zach Johnson, I'm like, this guy just seems boring. He seems lame. I don't know what I'm going to talk to him about. But he came right out of the gates hot. We're talking about Joey Chestnut guzzling down hog dogs. It was cool. The only thing I'll knock him on is we're on the 10th green. I'm caddying for this guy named Jim. He's got like an 8-footer to save par. And I look at Jim, and I know these greens are tour level fast. And I noticed that Jim is kind of like blowing him by, on the high side. So I'm like, Jim, I think this is going to be a cup out. All of a sudden, Zach walks right behind me. He goes, no, got to be more like a foot. I kind of give him one of these. I'm like, what the fuck? But, Jim listens to Zach. He hits it a foot out, and this thing just stays right on that foot. Doesn't move an inch. And Jim looks back at me and goes, yeah, I think I liked your read a lot.
Hey, these guys are confident in their reads, and they don't make every putt either.
No, I know. That was awesome. And then the second one, I did a live Pro-Am at Trump Doral, the Blue Monster. I got paired up with Abraham Answer, who I really had no idea who he was. He's shorter than you would expect, but he beats the hell out of a golf ball. It's really crazy. Like he's like 5. He seems like he's 5'4" or something, mm-hmm. But he hits the ball like 310. It's wild. And the coolest part about that was his caddy, Benji Thompson. He's the man. Just this like Southern boy, carries a bag, puts in a chew, like a guy you would definitely like to have a beer with.
Yeah.
The best thing that we did is we're on hole 16. Both of our guys are in the bunker. So Abraham hits his shot onto the green. My guy hits a shot on the green. I rake the bunker. I look back. He's already done with his. I look at his. It looks like the grain of sand hasn't moved. He looks at me. He looks at mine. He goes, and I start walking away, and he goes, hey, kid, come here. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Bunker time. Bunker lesson.
Yep, got a bunker lesson from a pro caddy. He's like, you really got to focus on this. And I'm like, is there a strategy that you guys use as caddies to, like, maybe fuck with some of that? He goes, no, because then you get shit on by the pro golfers and the other caddies. He goes, that's why we try to do a good job. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, but this is how you do it. Got a full lesson, got roasted for the last 3 holes for it. Yeah. It was a great experience.
The one thing that gets criticized about the Pro-Am is this whole pace of play thing. Like you've heard the last couple of weeks, the commentators have just been ripping into these guys about pace of play and how I think Torrey Pines was a 5.5 hour round. The week prior was a 5 hour and 40 minute round for Sunday. And somebody came out and said the NFL played 2 games. It was in a faster amount of time than 1 round of golf. And it's like, how do you expect people to turn the TV on and sit there for 6 hours while watching? You got to pick up the pace of play. And you were saying before we started that you're seeing it even in just day-to-day golf.
Seeing it in the amateurs too. It's really crazy. Like more and more people are starting to pick up the idea that you need this like long pre-shot routine and you need to discuss what the wind's doing. And I'm like, we can't. Like, I'm like, sometimes we can't even make contact with the ball. Right. What are we worried about all these other factors for?
Right.
It's like, see the ball, know if there's wind with or against.
Yeah.
And then just like be like, all right, I got to make contact. Now I get it. If you're trying to get better, maybe you can take a little bit more time. But I'm telling you, it does not take over a minute to hit a golf ball.
Yeah. No. And TGL has a shot clock. It's 40 seconds, and you see guys they're out there lacing it. I mean, I don't know if they'll implement a shot clock because it's tough. It's a tougher. When you're out in the elements, you got to get a ruling from an official. You got all these different things, but there are things out there that I think they can do to increase pace of play. I think one of them. I've been saying this for a long time. I think just give the guys rangefinders. Like,
Yeah.
what is it like? Turn the slope off. Give them rangefinders, and let's just get on with it.
Even turn the slope on. Like, who cares? At this point, the technology exists. It would be like if baseball didn't use fucking instant replay, or like the NFL didn't use instant replay. It's like, why are we doing it? We have the tech. We can make this faster. Gun it. Give him the number. He goes. None of this. Let me walk off the yardage. Okay, now the pin's here. Like, let me do the 10-step backwards and like check the wind. It's like, no, just zap. Okay, wind's in about 10 yards. Hit a 180 shot. Perfect.
Right, exactly. I think that's one. And the PGA Championship's doing it. They've been testing it there for years, and it's like we're seeing the data that says just give them the fucking rangefinder.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just fucking give it to them.
The caddies are the best in the world. They're going to get the right number. They're going to get within 1 yard of the number anyway. What does it matter?
I know.
So I think that's one. I think I heard a good one thing they're talking about is rolling the ball back, because one of the reasons for rolling the ball back is because you're making these courses so much longer, therefore they have to walk farther, yada yada yada. So that's people have been talking about that. People have been talking about doing twosomes instead of threesomes. When you do twosomes, the bottle, if you have threesomes, you're more likely for one of those players to get offline. So there's all different, and they're marking. These guys are marking 3-footers instead of just there's a lot of different things that are happening that are creating such a problem.
I think, I know Liv's a little crazy and they have a smaller field each week for the shotgun starts, but if you do have smaller starts, do foursomes and then do a shotgun start for like the first 2 rounds. That's it. First 2 is kind of like shotgun, and then you can get to the one-on-one. It's not a bad idea, especially because it kind of weeds out the guys who are slow in the beginning. Then you kind of know, it's like, all right, this guy's definitely slow. We got to work on him somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're doing that. They're starting. Hopefully, I think they're starting to say, we're having a list of players. Here are all the slow players. Let's put them at the back of the field and let's give them shitty times, because they're not out here. They're the ones that are creating the pace problem, right? If we put them at the front of the tee sheet, they're going to create the backup.
It's just like in amateur golf. Like, that is a thing. Caddy masters know who plays slow.
Right.
And the guys who zip around are always going to be more likely to get that first 7 a.m. tee time than a guy that they know takes 4.5 hours on a course that takes 3.
Right. All right. Well, moving on. I thought that was an interesting little caveat. I'm excited for the Pro-Am. I love to see all those guys play some
Here's
good
a
golf.
little thing I want to ask you. Who's your favorite celebrity to watch in the Pro-Am historically?
There's some good ones, like what's the guy who does the God, it's gonna piss me off. Well, obviously Bill Murray, but there's a guy, Larry Fitzgerald's really good golfer. He's fun to watch. I can't think of this guy. He does like the Steve Urkel dance.
Oh yes, damn. What is his name? He won Dancing with the Stars that year. That guy's a legend.
Yeah, he's a really good golfer. There's a bunch of football players that play. Brian Urlacher plays. I know there's that Celebrity Pro-Am out in Tahoe every year where like Steph Curry plays and Marty Fish plays and all those guys. So there's a bunch of good golfers out there. But
I wouldn't be shocked if down the line that they start inviting more and more golf influencers to play in these things. Like
yeah,
that like Fat Perez, the boys out there, like that would be hilarious content to see Bobby Fairways, trying to hit a par 3 and shanking it into the crowd.
100%. I think there might be. I don't know. I have to look. There might be a couple in there. But yeah, no, that would be great. That would be phenomenal. All right, hole number 6. Just talk a little football. I mean, this past weekend we had Chiefs Bills Instant Classic, and we had Commanders Eagles, a little bit of a more shitty game.
50 burger on
55 points, an absolute beatdown. Starting with the first game, Eagles Commanders, that was a shit show. I mean, Jaden Daniels kind of crawled into his shell a little bit. He threw a couple picks. He had a couple receivers have some fumbles, but from the very beginning, Saquon Barkley took it to the house for 80 yards.
That's when you knew it was over. The game was over the second he did it. I was like, oh boy, I don't even want to watch this. Like, it's just going to be touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah. So that game wasn't as interesting, but then the night game was Bills Chiefs, and that was just a great game. Josh Allen couldn't get it done again. The refs weren't on his side again. There was a controversial ruling about a first down versus a turnover on downs that didn't go his way, and
he was over the line.
He was over the line.
He was over the line. It's the dumbest thing to see instant replay. Mm-hmm. And then for us fans to be like, that ball's over the line. And then for the refs to go, no, it's not. Like, how am I doing your job better than you?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think it's a disgrace. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs did show up, and when Mahomes is up 7 with 3 minutes to play, you go ahead and book it. Go ahead and just
book it.
Go ahead and book it. Go ahead and book it. Because there's nobody better. There's nobody better. When you need somebody, you just take him.
Yeah, and listen, everyone was saying, "Oh, the Chiefs not the same Chiefs, not the same Chiefs." Like, they kind of proved that they're the same Chiefs. I mean, yes, did they lose in the regular season to the Bills? Absolutely, but you can't get it done when the time is called for. Like, what are you doing, Bills? Like, what do the Bills do now? It's been 4 years of them losing to these guys. What do you do? What do you do as a franchise? Like, I've never experienced that. I've never lost to a team that many times and been like, "Oh, let's just keep it going."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no. I know. It's going to be an interesting. I mean, Travis Kelce's talking about retirement, but I still think they reload and they're just as good as they were.
Even if he's gone, they're going to find a new tight end that's just as good. That's what they do.
Yeah, no, 100%. So that leads us to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in New Orleans. It's Kansas City -1.5. Over/under is 49.5. I think Chiefs Eagles. I think this is a rematch from 2 years ago. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think this is the same old Eagles. I think Saquon Barkley is a threat. I think here's a little pick for you. If you think the Eagles are going to win, don't take Eagles money line. Take Saquon Barkley, Super Bowl MVP. It's +275. If they win that game, it's on his back. It's not even a question. So that's my stat of the week for that game. But we're gonna have a full Super Bowl preview next week with a special guest and
secret special guest. Can't tell you who it is, but he's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's gonna be absolutely unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. He might be one of the biggest Todds we know.
He is a Todd. He's absolutely a Todd. So we'll do a full Super Bowl preview next week. Excited for that. I'll actually be in Utah for the Super Bowl with a couple of our buddies.
Nice.
All right, let's see. So moving on, hole number 7. Let's do a little Pebble Beach preview. I'm super excited. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a great tournament at a great venue. They're playing. This is the last week they do a split. Split venues. They have Spyglass Hill on Thursday or Friday, and they have Pebble Beach on Thursday or Friday. And then once they make the cut, you play Pebble Beach through the weekend. This is just a beautiful coastline course. It's small greens. Bunch of bunkers, iconic venue where Tiger won a major, Gary Woodland won a major, bunch of famous guys have won majors. So, any thoughts on Pebble Beach?
Am I wrong when they say, is this the first year they've used Spyglass and Pebble?
This is the first year that it's just been those two. They used to have Monterey Peninsula. MPCC used to be a third course in the rotation, and they would go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They'd make the cut, and then they'd go. So this is the first year they're just doing the 2 courses.
Okay. Yeah, I did a little bit of research of the history of Pebble Beach, and I guess when they first designed it, people didn't like it at all. The 18th hole used to be 390 or 369 yards.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me. And then two guys came over, they redid it. Now it is what it is today, but I don't know. Pebble Beach is always cool. You got Bill Murray knocking it around every year, doing some silly stuff with his hats.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? You got Mark Wahlberg probably out there, like you said,
Yep.
frying pan hands, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep.
I mean, I think I'm more into this tournament because of the celebrity action. Like, I like seeing him go out there. I like seeing the shots. Like, there's that iconic video of what the hell's his name? Justin Timberlake out there one year, way back in the day. And he just sticks it to about 3 feet. You're like, dude, this guy's an international pop star, and he's an absolute dart with a golf club in his hand. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's really good. He's one of those guys that can contend here. I think the way they do it is it's handicapped. So you get to see who the sandbaggers are. When you got 12 handicap, Aaron Rodgers going out and shooting 74, you're like, okay, this guy's an absolute sandbagging fool. I remember he got yelled at for that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it'll be great. I think I had a question for you. You see a bunch of people online doing that hole-in-one challenge on Pebble Beach number 7. How long do you think it would take you to on a simulator? Just because you would never be able to do it on the course. How long do you think it would take you? 95 yards, no wind. How long do you think it would take you to get a hole-in-one?
Realistically, 6 hours.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I did it at that X Golf thing. Me and Tyler, we set it up for about an hour, and we got like a couple times you get it within 3 or 4 feet, but nobody did it in an hour.
I think that 95. You said 95, right?
Yeah, it's like
that
95
number plays to my advantage. I'm very good from like that. My 60, 95. Does the simulator take wind or no?
You can make it windy if you want, but yeah, we just did it with no wind.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think if you gave me a 6-hour shot clock and clip this because this is something we will do. If you give me 6 hours in a simulator and a punishment if I don't do it, I could do it.
All right, maybe we'll do that one. I'll fly down there. We'll do a stream.
I like that. We could do a live stream, 6 hours. We'll try to, I don't know. There's so many things we do a live stream. We'll plan that. I love that. Let's absolutely do that.
All right, that's a good idea. Okay. So what else did I have on Pebble Beach? Yeah, it'll be great. I think, like I said, they're the smallest greens on tour. I think I saw a stat there, like 3,000 square foot greens, which are extremely small. They're very, it's a lot of less than driver off the tee. A lot of guys hitting irons off the tee. So it's not really a bomber's course. It's all about, getting it in the fairway and then being able to stick an approach shot close with the small greens. A lot of sand saves. You got to have good bunker play. It's there's a bunch of bunkers around the greens. They're all POA greens, so you got to have good 4 foot, 5 foot putters. People who can make those testers. So
people forget past champion, Wyndham Clark, bubble championship, 1 in 54 holes. Weather canceled it. Not a past champion. Not our champion.
I agree. Nope. No, yep. I don't even. He's not even a returning champion. He's a returning good player.
He's a returning good player. So congratulations to returning good player Wyndham Clark. Way to go.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yep.
All right, so that leads us to our picks, and I'm writing these down because we're posting these on the interweb, and so each of us get 10 units, and we have to spread them out. We have to spread them out. So we can cut this if we have to, if you need some time. But we're going to each have 10 units. We're going to put them on the interweb on SpinZone Picks. Look us up on Twitter, and we'll post them out, and we'll keep track of it year long. So go ahead, take your time. I'll go ahead. I'll go first.
I already got it.
All right, go ahead. You tell me.
Okay. My first pick, 2 units. 2 units. We've talked about them before. We'll talk about them again. The Silly Goose candidate for Todd of the Week, Jason Day.
Okay.
Plus 3,500. Hopefully he wears the silliest outfits I've ever seen in my life because it's Pebble Beach. If he can match Bill Murray's energy out there, I think he's got a good shot this week.
Okay. 2 units, Jason Day, and that's to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next.
I'm going to go, again, we talk about him all the time. I think you're right. Got to stop making the same picks. We talked about him again. Max Grazerman.
Okay.
2 units. Plus 6,000 to win.
All right. I like that pick. 2 units.
I think he's playing good golf. You were on him early. I'm on him late. I know how this goes. It's like a Sun JM thing. He's going to probably be at the bottom of the barrel. But what can you do?
Okay. What else you got for us?
2 units. And this is my ChatGPT pick of the week.
Oh, I love that.
ChatGPT has locked into DraftKings and stolen who is going to win the tournament. Couldn't believe it myself when I saw it. My dark horse winner, 2 units, Maverick McNeely.
Oh, he plays well here. I'll give you that.
ChatGPT said he's kind of a wimp when it comes to the bigger tournaments, but you get him around the fellas, you get him joshing, you get him loosey-goosey moosey, this guy's a stud.
All right.
Maverick McNeely.
All right, you got 4 units left.
I'm putting it all on one.
All right.
Lock of the week. Lock of the week for 4 units. Top 20, Keith Mitchell.
Oh, love that. The cashmere sweater Keith.
Cashmere sweater Keith. How can you not love the guy?
Keith Mitchell, 4 units for a top 20. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
I dialed in today. Let me tell you, when I heard we were doing Pebble Beach, when I heard we were not behind, I was like, I'm going to dial it in. Cooking it up. This will be the first week where I'm profitable. All
right. I love to hear it. And I love the 4-unit play. That's how you get profitable. All right. Here's where I'm going. I'm starting with 3 winners. I'm going to do 1 unit on each of them, okay? 3 winners, 1 unit on each. We're going to do 2 favorites and 1 dark horse. Winner of the week, I'm going with Justin Thomas. He's playing some phenomenal golf. He is plus 2,800. Or I'm sorry, no, he's plus 1,400. He's plus 1,400. We're going to do 2 units on him.
Love it.
Then we're going to do my guy, Russell Henley. Russell Henley for 1 unit. He is plus 6,000. Okay?
It's juicy.
It's juicy. It's juicy.
Juicy.
And then my last one. This is my dark horse. He's played here. He's I don't know if he won. No, he did win. I think he won here. Yeah, he beat out Jordan Spieth. And that's my man Hogecoin, Tom Hoge.
Dude, I had him. I just crossed him out because I didn't want to say him again. I picked him last week. What a pick.
Tom Hoge for a W. I believe he's like plus 8,000. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, it's plus 8,000.
Okay, so he's plus 8. No, I have him at plus 9,000. Excuse me.
Oh boy, went up.
Okay.
Not good.
I love it. Tom Hogecoin.
Hogecoin.
We're buying Hogecoin.
We're buying Hoge. We're buying Hoge.
We're buying Hoge. All right, and then so that's 3 units. So then I got 7 units to play with. I'm doing 2 3-unit plays and 1 long shot. Here we go. We're taking top Australian Adam Scott plus 275. Okay, for 3 units.
Beautiful swing, beautiful man. You know.
He's a beautiful man.
Yep.
Then we're taking what was my other one? We're taking Scotty Scheffler for a top 5 minus 110. Just an even.
Wow.
We're just trying to get winners here. We're trying to give people winners.
You just need to see one go through the net.
So
need to see one go through the net.
Even money. He's gonna show up. He had glass in his hand. He's fine. He's gonna show up. He's gonna throw darts. He's gonna get right back at it. I have him for minus 110, Scotty Scheffler. And that's for a top 5. And then I'm doing a 1-unit play on, I was going between 2 people, but I'm going to lock in Mr. Bo Hostler.
Ooh.
Bo Hostler for for a top 10. It's plus 400. And that rounds out my 10-unit play.
Now, is Bo Hostler actually a hoss? Like, would he be?
He's huge.
Okay, good. That's all you need to know to bet on him. He's a hoss.
I was at TPC Potomac when Tiger Woods hosted a tournament there. It was called the Quicken Loans Open or Quicken Loans National or something. And it was right down in my neck of the woods in Maryland. And I was walking down the sidewalk, and I looked to my left, and there's this unit coming down the steps. And he's just like walking with the layman. He wasn't even like, he was just walking around. And I look up, and he's got the visor on, and his hair's wacky. And I'm like, it's Bo Hostler. And he's like 12 feet tall. He's huge. He's a hoss. Bo Hostler's a hoss.
I love that.
All right, so those are my plays. We're going to put those up on SpinZone Picks. We're going to hold ourselves accountable here.
Accountability is key.
Accountability is key. And what are we going to give? So we will stop making picks after the Ryder Cup. What do we want to give to the winner between me and you? What do we get?
What do we get between? Now we're doing like most wins or most units up.
Units won. So how about we do this? I was thinking about it. How about we do loser has to fly to the other person's place and pay for a round of golf?
I love that. Or we do loser flies to the place where they want to go play golf. You know what I mean? And then pays for that round. So like we play. So it's like we plan a trip. Loser has to fly there. Maybe cover the other one's flight. Depending on how many units we're up, we'll cover each other's flights. You know what I mean? And then the loser pays for the round.
We'll figure it out. All right, I like that. Loser pays for a round of golf. We're at the others choosing within reason. That's our
$700 Pebble Beach, buddy. Let's get going.
Within reason. All right, so that'll be our bet. I'm excited for Pebble Beach week. I'll be watching. Any thoughts?
I just hope Jason Day's silly. I hope he's being a silly goose. I hope he's being a Todd. Also, last thought: if you want to bet on our guy, Brandon Todd, plus 40,000. There's some serious value there. Like there really is.
Yeah, Brendan Todd. If you ever, we'll give you, we'll give Brendan Todd odds every week, so just in case you want to sprinkle.
Yeah, always sprinkle on a Todd.
All right, I saw your video with the British Caddies. That was a classic. Anything coming out this week?
This week I just filmed I filmed the 86. I filmed the 86 with Pete as my caddy. So we're taking the short form content that we always do on Instagram, and we're turning it into a long form video. Trying to highlight Pete as a caddy / hype man.
Is he not playing?
No, I don't. He's playing, but I just don't capture his shots.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to capture all 18 holes. I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck? This is a lot. Took a minute to edit, but now it's getting pro edited. It'll be out Saturday. Sunday. Whatever.
Okay, great. Anything else? All right, and then I saw a couple of your golf school videos. Those are going great. We'll see if it actually pays off and if you start playing some better golf.
As of right now, it's absolutely not. I had to buy a putting mirror. I have no idea what the fuck it's for. I can't even figure out how to use the putting mirror, let alone putt.
Yeah, hey, you got to do what you got to do. All right, well, next week, special guest for the Super Bowl preview. We'll have Waste Management, Phoenix Open, and otherwise, let's go get them.
Let's absolutely have some bevies for the Waste Management.
All right, sounds good, buddy. See you.
All right, bye-bye.